by the government officials include apologized for with a disgraced paper in the polluted bloodstream means fracas how leftward thousands of NHS patients contaminated in viruses consisting HIV. The by the government admits how the paper was utilized for too length. The 1 week it will declare who will run its formal investigation in the fracas. Critics say the entire trial has undertaken far too length and include charged the by the government of a whitewashing. Campaigners include ever told how the 2006 paper, initially exhibited by the government as an formal expense of how the fracas deployed, was deceptive and unfinished since unique documents had been ruined. It has been named the lowest treat calamity in the story of the NHS. At low 2,400 human beings dead following they were taking into account bloodstream means how were contaminated in hepatitis C and HIV for the 70s and 80s. Thousands of NHS patients in an legacy hemorrhage disturbance named hemophilia were taking into account the plasma means that came of overseas, consisting the U.S. lot of the plasma utilized to do the coagulation treat element 8 came of donors love jail inmates in the U.S., who sold out their bloodstream. Carol Grayson's man, Peter, was one of the victims who died. She says campaigners include disputed the Division of Public Health above its investigations for more than rather than 10 years. I go of creature completely angry and thought all I was driven up to trust in, you aware on democratic state, on judiciary is arrest. In July, the main secretary orderly the office space to watch the freelance inquiry in how the fracas happened, following household members alerted how the participation of the Division of Public Health would indicate it would be, in impact, studying himself. Sir Chris Wormold, constant registrar at the Division of Public Health, wrote to permissive Democrat Dame Featherstone in August ensuring her how the paper has not been utilized by officials in latter year and it will not be utilized in the next. While the was driven to Sir Chris's focus, he apologized, and told down there were several instances in latter year wherever the division had called to the paper and repeated the certainty how the paper would be undertaken out of utilize. The equal, whose own nephew dead of an contagion of polluted bloodstream means, told, how paper is complete of holes, and put, and missed Ruths, and channel to get, and I went to the Division of Public Health to problem the use of the paper. I believe the constant registrar was rather true in his wish. He saw how the testimony proven how they couldn't use the paper, and he wrote to me to convince me how the paper was not creature utilized any much longer, had not been utilized in latter year and would never be utilized once again in the next. It specified to me how they knew it was incorrect, how they must include recognized it was expressive untruths. A Division of Public Health representative told, same 2006 paper, personality sufficiency in bloodstream means in England and Wales, a timeline of 1973 to 1991, remained in use by the division for too length. It is no much longer utilized. Same contaminated bloodstream fracas of the 1970s and 80s is an terrible tragic and the by the government has announced an freelance statute investigation to provide how victims and their families eventually get the answers they include consumable many decades wait to.